we're going back into the Isle Weaver mines. Luckily, my frame selection and weapon selection seem pretty good. Anyway, I got some Warframe. There's a little bit of news to talk about. Dog Days is coming up here soon. I think it's August 6th, which turns out is also the day that Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls comes out. My friend is probably going to be ball farming a lot because she was farming at least 100 beach balls last Dog Days, and she'll probably be going for even more this time. She just has her back room completely flooded with the beach ball floofs, and it's funny because all the Roombas kind of knock them around. It does kind of result in the game dropping some FPS though. But anyway, yeah, Dog Days is coming back. I think there's some new glyphs along with it that are coming, and then there's probably some new other cosmetic rewards to get. I know they're bringing back the Noodletron or whatever it's called, the pool noodle melee, and then they're also bringing back the Soakertron or Soaktron, whatever it's called, and they're apparently giving it more projectile velocity to hopefully make it just feel a little bit better. I remember doing Dog Days one time, I think, and I actually felt like I was doing pretty well with the Super Soaktron thingamajig. I feel like the strategy is that you just want to be shooting and pressing reload at the same time so that you're constantly pumping it AO. But that way you give it plenty of pressure. It's never really going to just go softly. It's going to have a good distance to it. This all sounds weird. I think most people in previous years would just always use the pool noodle melee because just trying to actually get good with the Super Soaker was a little bit difficult. There's definitely a bit of a learning curve to it, but maybe there will be less of a learning curve now with the increased projectile velocity. And then there's also going to be 5 double affinity weekends, and then there's going to be some alerts that give the Nakak pearls, I think they're called, or Nakak pearls, however you say it. English, man, it's a weird language. I already hardly speak English, mostly speaking gibberish, and they expect me to be able to pronounce a lot of these words. So there's that coming up. It's just another small event. I'm sure that the beach days or dog days, the little arena game mode is going to come back again with Kella as the, what do you call her? Spectator? What do you call a games announcer? How do I forget that? Commentator? And I literally just got off of work not too long ago, and my head is a little bit fried because I have a slight headache. I need to eat food here soon. I'm probably just going to get a pizza. Okay, TLDR, Dog Days coming back. You get the pool noodles, you'll get the Super Soaker, increased velocity, alerts coming up, double affinity weekends coming up, some other cosmetic rewards to get, mainly glyphs. I think there will probably be some other ones. And that's about all the news for Warframe. So mostly just waiting for the bigger updates to come out. Tau, the Naren update, whatever. It should be going Dog Days, then the Naren update, then to Tau, I think. Citrine Prime come out with the Naren update? Probably. Wonder which update the Banshee rework comes out with as well. Anyway, I guess in news for my life, I managed to order the arcade stick that I was talking about. It's a Quanba. I think it's the N3 drone. It's kind of a mouthful for wording, but that's what I'm getting. And then of course, Marvel Tokon comes out August 6th, as I just mentioned. It kind of seems like feedback for a game has been mixed. Like, people do seem to overall like it, but I'm mostly hearing complaints about the mechanical side of it. I think it's mostly with inputs and maybe some aspects of gameplay, but mostly just inputs and I guess general game design. I've heard good things about the speed. There was Sonic Fox who was kind of being a troll and saying that it was the worst game he ever played. He clarified a bit more on Twitter, just saying that like it was a little bit of a bait, but he does have some complaints about the game. Apparently he thinks it's too slow and that it was faster in a previous weekend, when I was hearing the complete opposite from players this open beta. I was hearing that this beta was the fastest it's ever been, so I'm a little bit confused on that, and he wants it to be more faster than what it was this beta, when like pretty much all the casual players, which yeah, I mean that's kind of expected, casual players were already somewhat struggling with the speed. I think that the pacing looks good. I'm generally into faster paced games though, that's just my preference, and I still have not tried out the game myself. It's kind of silly. I'm gonna buy the game before even trying the beta, but I'm interested enough to play it, and I'll probably start off with I guess PvE for a little bit because I gotta kind of learn an arcade stick, because this will be my first time ever trying out an arcade stick. I'm definitely curious how Arc System Works will treat feedback for a game. It seems like so far they've been doing a really good job actually at taking in feedback and experimenting with other changes, so I'm curious how they'll take feedback from this beta. But it is at least a really good sign that they seem to be very open to feedback. They even, in one of the Twitter posts, they had include a player survey that you can fill out. That's nice. Kind of reminds me of Marvel Rivals with their feedback. But the gameplay, it still does look really good to me. At least I think it's a very stylish game. Arc System Works tend to do very nice when it comes to game graphics. Guilty Gear looks very nice. Dragon Ball FighterZ I think is still one of the best looking games. And Tokon is still in a similar graphic style to it. I don't think it's maybe as detailed, which is maybe for the better, because then it kind of helps out with lower end rigs. Maybe they're able to work on other characters and content a little bit faster too, because there is less details. Doesn't maybe take as long. Regardless, I'm still just very hopeful for the game, and I'm pretty excited to try it out. Always seen arcade sticks in arcades, of course. Never got to experience one, so this is going to be a whole new experience for me. Oh, I remember, it was like Sonic Fox also talks about wanting mix-ups. He says the game has no mix-up, which is definitely not true. It's just not the traditional mix-up that he's looking for. I don't know the correct wording for the types of mix-ups he's looking for, but it's like reset mix-up. It's basically when you just have someone in the corner and you basically just 50-50 them all over the place. It's kind of like season 1 of Dragon Ball FighterZ. I think that's the type of mix-up that Sonic Fox likes, and personally I think that's some of the worst mix-up. Like season 1 of Dragon Ball FighterZ I'm sure was very hype from a spectator standpoint, because in terms of community and vibe it was very good. The tournaments were definitely popping at the time, but to actually play in that to actually play in that meta was probably pretty miserable. Like 50-50 mix-ups are not fun to deal with. We're seeing it a lot on Tekken 8 actually, and it's been a pretty major complaint from players, just feeling like every move is a 50-50. Because the thing with 50-50s is they are literally just not reactable. You have to guess, and players don't like to guess, understandably so, because in a game like a fighting game there should be a lot of skill expression. You should be able to react to the tougher moves. Having unreactables is just not good. They have to be few and far between, and just designed in a very specific way to where they're not obnoxious, because having to just guess all the time, that's gotta be not fun. There is actual skill in defense, being able to react to all the moves the opponent is putting on you, all the pressure they're putting on you. It has to be kind of split, right? There's skill through offense and there's skill through defense. There is no skill in offense when you just press a button that's a 50-50, and there's no skill in defense when you successfully guess in a 50-50. So anyway, there's that going on. Then I still see quite a bit of talk about Call of Duty still. The ports seem to be so up and down. It seems like people love them and people hate them. It's not like people hate the game exactly, it's more so just issues with it, mainly network connections. And there are still some weird things, like Black Ops 1 sniping is pre-patch, which is like the sniping that's basically impossible to quickscope in. And if you cannot quickscope with a sniper, sniping is basically useless. Like, you might as well go with a shotgun. There's not gonna be too many times where you're actually sniping down long range, especially in a 6v6 multiplayer map. In Warzone and Battle Royale and campaign, sure, that's a different story. In just general 6v6, you're not really doing that. You're not really doing sniper-ish things. You're running around the map going from kill to kill, right? And then of course there's also just hackers, as usual. They always gotta ruin stuff. But anyway, I think that's about all I got to yap about today. Dog Days, August 6th. Look forward to it. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, also August 6th. I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, I'll see you all whatever I do next.